breaking the delusion of self. Hopefully, you realize anything I'm talking about is from personal experience and or something I'm going through at any given time. My intention is never to lecture because what the hell do I know? But what I'm going to talk about is something I got from someone I've learned a lot from, Nick Peterson, and it's with regard to data and breaking the delusion that we have in here. So our mind, as we all know, it's designed very well to protect us, and in many cases, protect us, our mind feels like it should lie to us. And so, as an example, I'll give you an example right now. So, a number of years back, there was about a 12, 15, 18 month period where I literally, I got anxiety about checking my bank account. And that was 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I'm not sure exactly what it was. So I literally had anxiety about discomfort about checking my bank account, despite the fact that there was tons of money coming in, but there's also tons going out, and I knew it. And rather than face up to the facts of the actual numbers on screen by logging in, I would run from it. And days, weeks sometimes would go past before I'd get the bottle to log in and check the account, right? So by running from the numbers, I was able to lie to myself. Another example might be, in fact, a good example right now is I'm training for a half Ironman, and like my body weight, my body shape is not designed for this kind of stuff. That's an excuse. But I had set the intention of dropping about 15 pounds before the Ironman, which is in August, and I've actually dropped 0 pounds. First and foremost, my body has gotten better shape. I'm fitter, and my body is visibly in better shape. But I've dropped 0 pounds despite the effort. And so this morning I was like, you know what? I'm curious. Let me just measure myself. So I measured myself back in, I think, February, measured myself this day last month, and today. And the numbers have not changed an ounce. Like, there's nothing. Nothing has changed numbers wise. But I was lying to myself. By not paying attention to the numbers, it was easy for me to lie to myself. Reason this is important. I think fitness is the gateway drug to, in general, to people who go on some degree of personal development journey. It's the gateway drug to people who want to go from job to business and do very, very well with it, in my opinion. It's the gateway drug to a lot of things, and a big reason for it is obviously the habits and the disciplines, etc., that we need to succeed in this endeavor. But moreover, you know, we can't run from the delusion with fitness. So, for example, we'll use the Ironman again. I'm training for the Ironman, obviously. Half Ironman, not a full Ironman. Full Ironman, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so the swim is what? 1.9K swim. And so, okay, well, the reality is every week when I swim once a week, I can't lie to myself about the fact that, hey, I only did a 500-meter swim, or I can only do 550 meters, or last week I did 1700 meters last week, right? I can only do 1700 meters, but that's a slog. I can only do 1400 meters, but that's a slog, right? I can't run from the fact that I need to get 1900 in an open water body, and 1500 or 1600 or 1700 in the pool, which is taking me a long time to get to, by the way, is not that number. It's nowhere near it, right? Same on the bike. I can't run from the fact that hey, it's a 90K bike and it's also a 21K run right after. I can't even run 21K without the bike right now. So I can't run from the numbers. So fitness is such a great way of getting a crack in the armor of that delusion that we have here of our brains protecting ourselves, essentially. Um, that being said, I would argue the default of our brain to protect us by lying to ourselves, by making it easier for us to lie to ourselves, is it doesn't serve us, in my opinion. Because if you look at all the examples I just gave you there, me running from the numbers in whatever endeavor, actually it sets me back. And so numbers are tremendously important. I would encourage all of us to find a way to break the delusion, get a crack in the armor and begin to break the delusion. By the way, with fitness, if I go back to it, a big reason why it's so powerful, I think, and I think it's why, is because I can't run from the fact that I can't bend over, I can't get down to the floor, run, play with my kids, I can't this, I can't that. I can't run from that fact. Okay. We get a tiny crack in that armor, that delusion that we have about ourselves. And that tiny crack get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Meaning we can now chip away at all the other areas in life that we're lying to ourselves in. Fitness just happens to be one that's easy to get a crack with. You know, money is one that people obviously are, quite emotional about, which is okay, fair enough. Don't know why, but they are, and it's very easy to, I think, get caught up in the fact, oh, I'll get there. It's okay. My family will be fine. 20 years from now they'll be fine. Well, maybe, but will they? Like, what is the actual data saying? Where do you want to go? Where are you, and what are the steps we're taking to get there? And if we haven't got them defined, if we haven't got clear data sets, but where you are right now, where I am right now, how the fuck am I going to get there? Break, get a crack in the armor, and begin to break the delusion that we have about ourselves. I, of course, did not come up with this. I got this from Nick, but I've been consistently applying it to my life. Just this morning is top of mind because of the measurements of my body. Reality is I was lying to myself. Go figure.